Okay, so let's continue to move forward, and I'm going to refine the shell. I need to create some holes for the legs to come out of. To do that, I think I need to add more edge loops in here. So let's go to object mode, press F8 on your keyboard, shift right click. So if you ever do this where you accidentally go to the wrong thing in a marking menu than what you wanted to, then all you have to do is go back to the previous dot. And these are called marking menus, by the way. So I'm going to go to the Insert Edge Loop tool, and I'm going to click here so I can add more geometry in. And that would be mainly, I needed the geometry right here for the legs, or the front legs. And I'm going to do the same back here for the back legs. And that way I have more edges, more vertices that I can use to make more of a circular sort of hole. Okay. Now I need to go ahead and use all of that geometry that I just created and round out this shell just a little bit more. That was just a double click on that edge loop. Okay. So I think that's good. Probably could scale it up just a tiny bit. And round out the bottom a little bit. Now, I have a funny edge here. It kind of goes up, and it goes down, it goes up, and then down. It's zigzaggy. Just very slight. You want to avoid that sort of stuff if you can. So, I need to make that make sense. So there, now it kind of makes an arc from the top. That's good. And now I just need to translate them all down a tiny bit. Okay. So I've used that new geometry that I created. Pretty good job of it. Tumbling around. I could turn the lights out, which is always a good idea to see if it's a decent shape. That would be more purposeful later on when I have the head and the feet and the tail on it. But it's not looking too bad right now. Yeah, anyway. So we move forward. And we need to start working on legs. So I'm going to go to face mode. I'm going to select these two faces here. Shift, right click to extrude face. Go to my scale tool. Scale it in. Pull it out. Pull it out some more. Refer to my drawings. Move it up and out a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to delete these faces here. And I need to rearrange these so that they're more circular now. I need to turn on my X-ray mode in this view so I can actually shift them into place. So I'm going to go to edge mode, select this one and this one both, and move it beyond where it needs to go, but then I can scale it back in. Down. And I got an individual vertex here that I need to place at the top of this area, which means now that I've done that, I can see that I have these faces right here at the top are not very squarish. Now, on your mesh, you always want to do the best you can to keep them squarish. Now, obviously, that's not always going to be possible, and sometimes not even remotely possible. But again, do the best you can. So I'm going to move this forward and up a little bit, and I'm going to try to give those a little bit more of a square to them. I think I'm going to do this one also. So I kind of want to keep the geometry as even as possible. Okay. Again, I'll check back in this view. It's fine. I probably want to bring the bottom portion of the shell down and forward. Then in my perspective view, I'm going to move that in so the leg has a nice large hole to come out of. Okay. Yeah. Now you notice I didn't do it to this side. We only really have to get half of our mesh working if our character is symmetrical. And so at this point I'm going to stop working on the left side of the character. And I'm just going to try to get the right side done. And once I get it finished, then I will go back and I can duplicate it and repurpose it for the other side. So I don't have to model both sides. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do the same process as I just did, but for the back leg. Select those two faces, shift right click, extrude. I'm going to scale them in. Go to this side view, position it around the leg. Scale it up a little bit. Going to rotate it. And pull it out. Okay, so again, that looks really bad. My geometry is stretched all over the place, not very squarish. That's the hole I wanted in the end, so I need to re-evaluate this mesh. I know this hole is about where I want it. So let's go ahead and get the vertices around this hole right where I want them. Okay, so that looks fine. Now I need to reposition these vertices. And again, I'm going to try to make it more squarish. Okay, so there's that. Probably should position this vertex here so that it lines up at the bottom, and then I'm going to move it down and give that leg more room to come out. Okay, so now I've got all the holes I need. Kind of got all the geometry flowing the right direction. That's something you guys, it just comes with experience. And I need to save. I probably should have saved multiple times during that process.